All right, looks like we are live. It doesn't look like quite have anybody joining us yet. Been having some issues with finding a place for connectivity for our update. I'm out at Prairie Creek Redwoods, and the service is a little unreliable here. So if you can see me and you can hear me okay, leave me a little comment. Looks like we are having people tuning in now. I'm going to put a little comment in here. All right. So I'm having a little bit of connectivity issues, so let me know if our picture and sound are okay. That would be spectacular. I've been spending the past, let's see, almost 20 minutes now looking for a place to get service and to be able to broadcast from. So, Bud, I see your comment there. Excellent. Happy Biodiversity Week, everybody. Happy just past Biodiversity Day. I am out here in Prairie Creek. My name is Kyle. I'm a park interpretive specialist for California State Parks. I'm the team captain for Prairie Creek for this competition, our Bioblitz competition, Prairie Creek Redwoods State Park versus Humboldt Redwoods State Park. We're using an app called iNaturalist to identify species and get an idea of the biodiversity within these parks. And biodiversity is a really important thing that basically just means the variety of life in a place. So what do you guys think? Do you think Prairie Creek Redwoods State Park or Humboldt Redwoods State Park has a greater biodiversity, a greater diversity of life? Well, that's exactly what we're trying to find out through this competition. So we have been checking out your observations as you guys are going through these parks and making observations. It's spectacular. This competition is really heating up. Yesterday it was getting to be a really close call, and then somebody out in Humboldt Redwoods went and did about 350 identifications, and they have taken they've taken way off. So you guys for Prairie Creek, I need your help. We got to catch up. They did about 350 observations yesterday. I'm going to spend some time out here and get some observations, and hopefully you guys will join me out here in the park and help us catch up to Humboldt Redwoods, because I know that Prairie Creek has some spectacular biodiversity. I know it has some people who love this park, and there's so many great things to see, and iNaturalist lets you know what those spectacular things are. I found this really cool beetle, looked like a ladybug, had a completely different pattern on its back. I just took some pictures of it, uploaded it to iNaturalist, and hopefully I'll get my answer in just a little bit here. So, without too much further ado, let's get to our update and our creature feature. So we have Humboldt Redwoods State Park and Prairie Creek. I'm going to start with our totals. I'm going to break down per park, and then we'll talk about some of our top observers and do our creature feature. I know it's also, I just want to recognize that it is really Humboldt Bay area. It almost looked like it was sunset out at noon. Here up at Prairie Creek it's looking a little bit clearer, but just want to recognize that it's really not great air quality in a lot of areas. So I do understand if you don't want to get out into the park with that kind of weather, and hopefully we'll have it clearing up in the next couple of days. So let's go over our totals right now. As of this morning, we had 907 total observations and 320 species. That's between both parks. And so far we've predominantly had plants as what's being ID'd. There's some animals, there's some insects, there's some other things. We're seeing tons and tons of plants, which is just as expected. There's tons of plants and they don't move, so they're really easy to get pictures of and really easy to ID. I do want to give a shout out to our top observer right now. Is out in Humboldt Redwoods. I was just talking about they had 350 new observations yesterday. That is Bear Tracker, who has a total of 357 observations and 103 species. It's incredible. What incredible work out of one individual. 357 observations, and this is just since we started this competition on Saturday. I see David's comment here that there have been evacuations down near Humboldt Redwoods State Park. So those of you guys who are in the North Coast Redwoods District, please stay tuned to your evacuation orders and things like that. The fires are getting relatively near to us, to where some areas very soon and evacuate. So please do stay tuned on that. A little later today, if you are interested in the fires, Ryan is going to be giving an update, likely around 6 o'clock. He's going to be giving an update about the fires, to talk a little bit about their condition and to talk about how they affect biodiversity. So more on that later. Let's break it down per park right now. So we have Humboldt Redwoods is in the lead right now, but not by far, okay? We can catch them. They have 652 observations, 235 species. Their top identifier is bear tracker, and they have about 20 observers through the park who are actually making these observations and uploading them. So for Prairie Creek up here, we have a total of 255 observations. We have 147 species, and our top identifier up here is K.M. Slauson. He has 74 identifications with 51 species. And up here in the parks, we have about 14 observers up here in Prairie Creek. So again, Humboldt Redwoods has about 20 observers. Here in Prairie Creek, we have about 14, so we're not far behind. But I bet there are some of you who have not come up yet and visited or done a bunch of observations. So I bet that we can catch up. So for our creature feature today, we have a observation that is from Prairie Creek Redwood State Park. This is from Casey Hallahan, I believe is how you say the identification, the name. And I printed out a nice big picture of it right here. This is suspected to be dog vomit slime mold. So this was one of our kind of MVP observations from last year. Dog vomit slime mold is a plasmodial slime mold, which means that it can basically move as it eats things and consumes things and breaks down stuff. It looks a lot like dog vomit, and this photo from Casey Hallahan looks a little bit different than our typical dog vomit slime mold, which is a little bit brighter yellow. So I would be interested, we only have her identification so far, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that identification get confirmed. I know people were really excited about it last year, seeing this type of slime mold that's called dog vomit. What a creative name, right? Somebody's like, what does this look like? Oh, dog vomit, we'll call it that. So dog vomit slime mold, absolutely a great observation from Casey Hallahan. There's so many incredible things to say. Like I was saying, when I was, I've just been up here for about an hour and I've seen all kinds of things, tons of insects, and it's really exciting to get to learn the names of all those things. And not only are you doing yourself a service by learning about the animals and plants that live here, creatures, insects, but all of this data that you are collecting is usable by scientists. And this is really giving us an accurate idea of the variety of life in these parks whenever we do these sorts of things. These bioblitzes, it's really giving everyone an opportunity to participate in science. So I'm really excited to see you guys out here, and it's been awesome seeing all these observations coming in. It's really just in the past day that Humboldt Redwoods has taken this lead on us, and I have no doubt that we will be able to catch up. I know some of you are outside of the area, and the way that you can help is to check in on our projects. If you go to iNaturalist.com, we have 3 different projects, one for Humboldt Redwoods, one for Prairie Creek, and one that's an umbrella project, so we can actually compare the statistics between the 2 parks. I'll post the links for those down in the comments once I'm done. But you guys can check those out, and you guys can help us out. Even if you're outside of the area, you can check in on these projects. You can confirm identifications. If you think it looks like the thing that they said it looks like, you can confirm those identifications, and you can help us out, again, even if you're not in this area. So we really want this to be something that everybody can participate in at least a little bit. And for those of you guys in the park or nearby, come on down, help us out, get some identifications, and learn some new things about your park. It's absolutely exciting. I'm gonna give you guys just a little bit of a look out here today. I know it's smoky, but hopefully this is a little bit of a reprieve. Some of your places, I know that it was really refreshing for me to drive out of this. The sky was all orange. It looks like sunset. You can't even see the sun. And even though it's kind of foggy and a little bit smoky here, it's a lot better than where I was. So out here, this is again Prairie Creek Redwood State Park. It's just been a beautiful, quiet day, a little bit foggy, a little bit smoky in the distance. But it's creating some very interesting weather. And again, I just want to thank you guys all so much for doing your part during COVID to shelter in place, all of those types of things. We're doing what we can out here as well, social distancing, sanitizing our equipment, all of these wonderful things. Thank you guys all so much for participating in this competition, joining in these live streams. It's been a blast, and it's great to see that you guys enjoy this. We're going to keep doing things like this in the future. We're getting a good response, and that's really exciting to us. So thank you guys all so much for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for participating in our competition, and I can't wait to see how it's all switched up tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining, you guys. I'm going to just flip through here and see if we have any questions. See, can you all do this competition again when it's not bad outside? Yes, I think we'll do something like this again. If not the exact same thing for Biodiversity Week next year, these bioblitzes are tons of fun and a great way for us to be able to interact without actually seeing each other. That Kim person and her 350 identifications. Way to go, Bear Tracker. All right, I think that's all we've got for today. Thank you again so much for joining, you guys. Sorry I was on a little bit late. Tune in again tomorrow, 3 o'clock. We'll be on again, and we'll be talking about how the competition has switched up all again with a brand new creature feature, and it could be yours. Just make sure to make some identifications in Prairie Creek or Humboldt Redwoods, and we'll be looking at those. Sandra, I saw your question. Is it cold since you're wearing a jacket? It is a little bit breezy out. I'm not sure if that's affecting your, if you guys can hear that or not, but it is a little bit windy, and it's about, so it's not super warm, and I'm kind of a cold person, so I tend to layer up, especially out here. So, again, thank you guys all so much for being here, and hopefully we will see you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock from a little bit different place within Prairie Creek Redwood State Park. Bye!